Hey y'all, in this video I'm going to show you how I make my earrings. And what I'm actually doing is running a test stitch of some new designs. So hopefully everything goes okay with this. I might have some wonky bits, so I'm just warning you ahead of time. And if I do, I'm sorry, but the process is still the same. So the first thing I'm going to do is just hoop my stabilizer, and I like to use 2 sheets of just a lighter medium weight cutaway. You can use tearaway, you can use Badge Master, you can use Vilene, you can use any of that stuff. Anything is fine. You're really not going to see the inside of it really, so it doesn't matter. So the first thing you're going to do, as with all my designs, all, they have a placement stitch. And this tells you where you're going to put down the fabric. That way you don't have a giant piece of fabric, or if you want to use multiple pieces of fabric, you can do that also. So the first step is always going to be the placement stitches. So we're going to run that first. Gray vinyl, silver vinyl. And since I have the placement stitches, you can see exactly where you need to put it on the left and the right. And that way you're not covering, the whole thing and then using up all this, you're wasting all this extra. So just for this little space right here, I'm just going to cover it. Actually, let me spin that around. And then I'm just I always like to go just a little bit over so I have some wiggle room when I put, when I go to cut around it and everything. That's almost the same color. Okay, I think I'm going to change this color to a darker gray. I should have listened to my gut in the first place. You know how that goes. All right. Okay, so make sure all that's right. And you can, since this is pretty soft, normally I would put like Badge Master on top of it, just because I don't like it sinking down into the vinyl. But these are just test stitches, so I'm not too worried about it. So we'll see how that turns out. Look, and if your PE 770 does this too, where it wraps around stuff and then you got to trim it before you even start doing anything because it's ornery. So once you have everything stitched, you're going to take your hoop off. Do not remove the design from the hoop. Just take the hoop off the machine, flip it to the back, and you're going to take your back piece, whatever fabric you choose. These have raw edges, so you want to make sure it's a non-fraying fabric like felt or vinyl. So you just line it up, and once you get it on there, I use this lovely blue painter's tape. Just rip off a couple little pieces. I try to attach it to where the actual plastic part of the hoop is, because I find that holds better than just taping it to the stabilizer. So you can see how I kind of just attach it there, and then gently turn it back over and make sure you have the bobbin color thread that you want. Normally what I would do is I would put another piece of vinyl on the back and then do a matching bobbin color with the same as the top thread. But since this is just a sample, and then when we go to take the pictures, It'll only be the front, so I'm just going to put felt on the back just for stitching purposes. Sorry, it's hard to maneuver this when there's a camera in the way, so I'm trying to do this at the same time. So once you have the back on, just, you know, kind of feel around and make sure that the back is still on and still covering everything. I always give it another double check just in case. And this one I'm just going to use black as the outline for all of them. So the back is there, the front is there, and we're doing the lap. And that's it. Those are done stitching. So we're going to remove it from the hoop. Oh, come on. I'm going to remove it from the hoop. Let me get my thread out of the way here. And push that back out of the way. What I do, and I think this is completely a personal kind of thing, but this is how I cut them. So I cut them into manageable little pieces. It usually helps to include the back. And that way there's not so much bulk hanging about. All right. And I find that that really helps me to get down to what I need to. And then I just kind of go like as much as I can in the middle. Of course, if you have multiples, this is what, you know, this is what you'll want to do. Oh, look how cute they are. Little tennis ball and rackets. And then I find a good spot to start. And I'm so sorry that my fingernails are dirty. This, I don't even understand how. When you work with fabric all day, it just seems like, I don't even know. Is it dirt? Is it fabric dust? Is it gremlins? I don't know. Anyway, so I just find a good spot to start and just go slow and let your scissors do the work. Don't do chop. What I'm doing is I'm pulling the scissors to the right and guiding the rest of the fabric with my left. And you don't want to scissor it. You don't want to open and close the scissors. You want to do that as least amount of times as you can. And if you, I don't know if you can tell, it's not straight up and down. I'm kind of at an angle. And that way the back of the earring will not show through when you look at it from the front. So if you notice on the back, I don't know if you can see if it'll focus. You can kind of see the front from the back, and that's okay. That's what I want, because when you turn it over this way, you don't see any of the back coming through. And this got a little wonky where I stopped to talk, but that's okay. And then we just do the same thing on the other side. So if you just pull in opposite directions, I know that sounds really weird. You almost have to feel it. And just let the scissors do the work. And then, you know, if you get silly or you mess something up, it's okay. These are so quick and so simple to make. If you mess up, just make more. It's okay. So that's how I do those. And then, oh, sorry, I should have had this ready. And then I grab my little trusty Euro punch and pick a spot. These don't have any reference points, but I try and get like right up in the tip top. I don't even know if you can see that. Not really. Anyway, well, in the very, very tip top, you'll see it wants to punch a hole in it. Almost, golly, at the very tip of the black of the hello, when the stitching, where the stitching comes together. Goodness, my mind is done for the day. Anyway, so just put a little hole up there like that, and get you some hooks, which I happen to have right behind me. And I already put these away, but you'll need some of these split rings or jump rings or any of the rings. Should have kept them out from the other video I just did. I was trying to clean up and be a good little doobie, but this is what happens when I try and clean up. Everything goes haywire and I don't know where anything is. Does that happen to y'all too? Sure it does. So normally I would use silver tone, but I'm out of the silver tone big ones. So I'm just going to use the gold ones and just do a silver and gold little doodad here. And to just put them together like so. Okay. And then roll the opening to the back. And that's it. There's your first earring. And you'll notice that each pair mirrors each other. So that way when you put them in your ears, then, you know, you won't have two that look weird. You know, they're kind of facing each other or facing away from each other, however you want to do that. But they mirror each other exactly. And that's it. You just repeat on that side and you're good to go. It's very simple, very easy, and you can make tons of them super fast. Happy crafting!